Hello, my name is Michael Dominguez, and I'll be talking about my game, The Sacrifice. Items you need to play this game: you need a deck of cards, but you have to take out the jokers. You have to have at least you have to use 1d4, 1d6, 1d8, and 1d12, and a piece of paper and pencil to write down HP and damage done. The rules of the game is basically to deplete an opponent's HP or be the last one standing with the most HP. Both players have 25 HP but can max it out to 40, and both players must also start with 24 cards each. The game ends if one player dies or if all cards are played. The card's effect. Spades are the defense of the card. They block incoming damage. Clubs are the attackers. They deal damage to the player. Hearts heal the player, and diamonds are the unique one where they do one of three based on the taps you do on the back. One tap equals clubs, two tap equals spades, and three taps equal hearts. Continuing the card effects, the queen cards basically don't do any damage. However, they boost a card of your choosing by 2 points. So if you have a 5 of clubs, you can increase it by 2 points, making it a 7 of clubs. The jacks do damage, do get to be played. So if it's like a jack of clubs, they do damage. A jack of spades, they block, etc. But the jacks basically copy the highest number on the board. So the highest number is an 8, it copies the 8 and then it does the effect. An ace doesn't attack, but they boost all of your cards played by 1. The king cards. King cards are basically the characters in this game, with each having a powerful effect that changes the tide of the game. A king's effect can be used once anytime throughout the game, or during the game. So the effects of the kings are that the king of clubs basically gets to roll a d8 to reduce the number of all opponent's cards. So let's say if he rolls a d8 and he gets a 5, 5 is subtracted by all number cards on the opposing player. Let's say the player has the king of spades. If he plays any defending cards, he gets to make them attack as well. So let's say he has a 10 and a 6 of spades, so he's blocking for 16 damage. If he activates his spade card, he gets to do 16 damage as well. A king of hearts basically allows a heart card in their hand to become an instant card, meaning that it's basically put on the side next to them, and whenever they want to, they can use that card out of any time in the game. It can be used during combat or used out of combat. A diamond king basically gets to choose one of the 3 effects, but it's a little bit weaker. If a diamond uses the club's ability, it uses a d4 instead of a d8. If the diamond uses the spades ability, it does the same effect, but the damage dealt by the spades are cut by half, going up. So if it's a 9, it's divided by 2, but then it goes up, so it becomes a 5 instead of a 4. And if it's using the diamond of hearts ability, it does the same thing, but you only get to keep the hearts, the instant card, for 3 turns instead of forever. How the games basically go: each player gets to pick 1 king, and any remaining kings get pushed aside from the deck, and then you shuffle the cards. After shuffling the cards, you lay them out facing down, and the player rolls a d12 to see how many cards they pick up. So if a player rolls a 6, they pick up 6 cards, and the opposing player rolls a 12, they pick up 12 cards. It keeps on going till both players has 24 cards in their hand. It just basically makes it that they get to decide what kind of cards they want, even though they can't see it. After picking up all your cards, you basically roll a d6 to decide who goes first. And let's say I go first, and then my opponent goes next. It keeps on going like that till the end of the game. After that, after deciding who goes first by the d6, you then roll it again to see how many cards you can use. So let's say if I roll a 4, I get to use 4 cards. After deciding my cards, I get to place them down facing down. So if I roll a 4, I get to play only 4 facing down. If a card's a diamond, however, you have to tap on the back to show the other player what the diamond card is. So you can't basically cheat and say, oh, I want it to be attacking instead of defending. You have to basically decide it before your turn ends. After that, the next player does the same thing. When both players are done with their card, when both players are done placing their cards, they basically reveal the cards to each other, and that basically is. And after that, they see how much damage is dealt, how much HP is gained, how much damage is blocked, or if any of the cards special effect are used. This keeps on repeating until one person dies, or if one person has no more cards. When one person runs out of cards, the opposing person enters rush mode. In rush mode, the player with the remaining cards gets to basically play them all at once in a last ditch effort to see if they can get a comeback. And to set up the basic board, you have both players' kings opposite of each other with the pencil and pen. And if the king has a heart effect ability, if the king activates the heart effect, you keep the heart card next to the king. You have a trash pile that once you're done with your turn, you put all the cards in your trash. And you have a little dice box to basically roll your dice so it's more easier. The dice doesn't just go anywhere. And you have a little playing area where you just place your cards facing down. And that's basically how you play the sacrifice.